want you to demonstrate a kimura from full guard. Go. All right, put me in that same exact kimura. Go. Come on. Finish it.
I'm trying.
Come on. Got it?
No.
What's your issue?
Your arm too straight.
Kind of, but what's the other issue?
I don't know.
Right. So each time you went for your kimura, you swam underneath the arm to break my posture. You reached underneath the arm and you stayed here and you started doing this, right?
Yeah.
Even when you rotate, this is tolerable, correct?
Yeah.
Now, as I started straightening out my arm, you make this a little bit more tolerable, correct?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're gonna tap at all?
No.
Now, if I were to bite down on your shoulder at this angle and do that, do you feel like you're gonna tap?
Yeah, I did.
Anytime you're trying to set up a kimura, the first thing you have to do is find a way to isolate an arm. So you're gonna swim underneath your opponent's wrist. You're gonna lift up. Now, I like to lift my hips up as well. It's gonna make it a lot easier to remove their hands. You're gonna counter grab and pull them to the mat as you bring your knees to your chest. I like to hold onto a wrist as I sit up, and I'm gonna sit up and try and reach over his shoulder like so. Then I'm gonna force his arm to bend. I'm gonna grab my own wrist and I'm gonna pinch down with my arm just like so over his shoulder. Then as I fall back, I'm gonna fall back at an angle. I don't wanna fall straight back. That's what your issue was. I wanna fall at an angle so that way I can start taking your wrist and putting it in this space right here to make you tap. I go for my kimura and I'm low on his arm. Even if I begin to rotate, there's not enough pressure on the top part of your arm, is there?
No.
The moment I apply pressure on the top portion of your arm and start rotating, it's gonna make that a lot tighter. Now, once I hit this angle, I'm able to apply pressure on the upper portion of your back, and I'm able to rotate more, and this is gonna make this a lot tighter, understand?
Yeah.
The first thing I have to do is remove his hands off my hips. I'm gonna swim my hands underneath his wrist as I lift my hips off the mat. I'm gonna lift his hands up, counter grab his wrist, and I'm gonna pull him down to the mat as I bring my knees to my chest. I'm gonna keep a hold of his wrist, I'm gonna sit up, and I'm gonna reach over his shoulder. I'm gonna bend his arm, and I'm gonna grab my own wrist. You wanna make sure you keep pressure on his shoulder. You don't wanna be on the lower portion of the arm. You wanna be right here, because this is gonna make this a lot tighter. As you fall down, you're gonna fall at an angle, you're gonna bite down with your top leg, you're gonna take his wrist, you're gonna try and put it in his opposite ear as you rotate your whole entire torso. All together, it's going to look like this. Good?
Yep.